Gases from Marianas Press, and welcome to our new segment called Beyond the Game. Our first guest is Mr. Nick Gross.
Thank you, yes. My name is Nick Gross. I work for the public school system as the athletic program director under the Office of Student and Support Services. But most recently, I have been appointed by the Northern Mariana Sports Association as the chef de mission for Team NMI heading to Palau for the Pacific Mini Games in June.
Nice. So you're no stranger to this role. You were also the chef de mission or CDM for the bigger Pacific Games in 2023. So why did you decide to accept this role once again?
Well, obviously, yeah, the world of sports is something that I'm very familiar with. Being in the CNMI now for over 20 years and affiliated with many different federations, games, regional, on-island, and otherwise. And so this is really a great opportunity for me to kind of give back for all that I've learned and taken away from the sports, being a career. And it's a great chance for me to reconnect and reestablish friendships with the federations that I work with day in and day out, to kind of see the end result of the grassroots that I get to take part in annually every year with the kids' sports programs. And so this is a chance for me to really work on my professional development for the CNMI in the capacity that I work, and to build relationships beyond the CNMI borders with the greater Pacific. And a lot of them have the same barriers and restrictions on access to sport as we do. And so it gives me a great chance to get together with stakeholders throughout the Pacific and talk sport and figure out how we can make sure that our kids are getting equitable access to sport and opportunities that sport provides.
Nice, thank you. So with that, your role as athletics director, and you had experience with being a CDM prior to this, what was your the lessons that you've learned or the key takeaways that you can use to implement for this upcoming games?
In relation to kind of what I know going into games and those kinds of preparations, right? The initial day or two is really big on making sure that the athletes and the teams that we're bringing down to the games are comfortable, they're ready to train, or they're prepared to compete immediately in some cases. And so it's the little things. It's making sure that we know where we're staying and that they're comfortable so that they can rest well. It's making sure that we have access to water immediately. Sometimes the little things are the oversight, right? That seems easy, but it's making sure of those events and then checking with the technical delegates from each sport to see if there's any last minute changes from the plans that were put into place prior to arrival in country. And then from there, it's kind of hold on, get the vest. I've got the ticket to everything, right? I get the front row seats. And so it's really great to be able to see our athletes and some of the best athletes in the world compete at this stage. In relation to Palau specifically this year, recently I was there on the mission to sort of check the venues and be reassured that the investment that all of the countries are putting in to get their teams there is going to be well worth it. And so very happy to report that Palau seems to be on track. They're doing exceptionally well. They've hosted so many events over the last 20 years that I think they, as a country and a nation, they've really figured out how to get all of their possible capacity on hand to assist with the buildup. And the legacy of hosting these games, specifically in the micro or the mini games, I'm sorry, get my games mixed up, in the mini games, is a chance for the smaller island nations to host these events. And so the legacy that Palau will be left with is they are putting in new windows, air conditioning units into all their classrooms at their schools. They've got 2 new gymnasiums that they're working on, bringing up, one for judo and weightlifting. But beyond the games, the legacy of these structures, of these venues, is something that really goes back to Palau and speaks very highly of what it is that they want to do, what their initiatives are for their people locally. way. And hopefully what it does for a Micronesian island is gives us another venue to be able to host sporting events regionally in our area. And so it's just a win-win for everybody.
Nice. So with that, your trip there, how long was that? Did you get to meet all specific people that will be assisting during the games?
Yeah, so I met the majority of the local organizing committee there, as well as a lot of the Games Council folks that feel like old friendships at this point, you know, after years and years of knowing a lot of the council members and getting the opportunity to visit with them and catch up and see how things are going. And on behalf of just about every nation, they still say that CNMI #1, as they had a fantastic mini games here in 2022, and so everybody they would love for us to host another event and get the chance to come all the way up to the Northern Marianas.
Nice. So when you got back from Palau, I'm pretty sure you met with the federations here in the CNMI. Did you give back any feedback on what you experienced there, what you saw? How was all the preparations going on over there?
Yeah, and so we recently were able to meet with all 9 of our national federations that will be represented in the games. And it is to reassure them once again and let them know any new details. Some of the federations and their officers at the board level are very familiar with games, and so a lot of this is just sort of a refresher type of thing. But some of our other federations have new members, new officers, and this is the first time that they've been involved in a regional event as the organizers at the federation level. And so it's assuring them and it's giving them updates and details as to kind of all of it, as well as the support package that the Northern Marianas Sports Association is putting forth in our hopes of raising $140,000 to ensure a very large representation from the Northern Marianas, specifically being kind of in our backyard at Palau, right? We want to make sure and show the entire Pacific, but our Micronesian partners specifically, that we're not going away. It wasn't a once-off or a twice-off with big teams coming from the Northern Marianas, and we're very proud and thankful for all of the support that we receive. Whether it be big money or small money, it is all going to a great cause to ensure that our athletes are able to represent in these Pacific Games.
Nice. So are you able to talk about the number, your guys' target number for the delegation? Do you guys see like how many over 100?
Yeah, we currently, again, we have 9 of the 12 sports represented. We don't have archery, table tennis, and one other one, let me think of, it'll come back to me, but there's 3 different events we don't have. But out of the 9 sports, and some of those 9 having multiple sport, indoor volleyball as well as beach, wrestling as well as beach wrestling, so on and so forth. We have a delegation of approximately 150 right now that we're hoping to hold steady. I imagine that delegation will grow because right now we're concerned with the athletes, not necessarily a head count on every official. But by the end of March, in order to lock in some air tickets with United Airlines, we do need to have that sorted out. And so the clock is ticking, and everybody is certainly trying to figure out and get those commitments from athletes, whether they be on island or in the CNMI, or whether they're maybe off island currently for either military or college, those purposes, right? And so it's a mad scramble here in this last 100 days to get everybody on board and really kind of seal the deal and make sure that we're assured of the numbers going, so that we can make sure all of our timelines are met on getting them registered and all of the different kind of ins and outs of that process.
Right. So as a CDM again, what's your expectations of leading this team? You know, Pacific Games was pretty successful under you. What are you expecting for this time around?
Well, again, I think, you know, for as big of a title as chef de mission is, I play a very small part in the success of the teams, right? It is the preparations that they're doing today and have been doing in preparation for the games. But I have no doubt that we will come away with many medals. I was being in Palau, of course, and the back and forth fun with baseball in our region was certainly something that I let the entire organizing committee in Palau know that they didn't need to worry. We're taking the gold back to the NMI, so they can all just rest assured in knowing that CNMI will be there for baseball. But you know, that's just one because of what baseball means to Micronesia. But on the bigger part of it, we've got athletes spread across all of our competing events that I certainly think we're going to do very well, if not break some additional records.
Awesome. So lastly, a message to the community, you know, for their support. Do you guys have any fundraisers for the team? Any upcoming events that they could participate in?
Yeah, so through the NMSA, we just recently launched our fundraising initiative to raise. Our target is $140,000 to offset costs associated with airfare and per diem and all of those things. And it is such a tough economy now, and times are exceptionally difficult for every business, big and small. And I just can't say enough and express our gratitude on behalf of NMSA and all of the federations for the continued support that we continue to drum up. It amazes me in the support that we continue to get, and I think it's a true testament to all of the business community and anybody that's helping to give and provide to this this cause, because this is, you know, these are every 2 years or every 4 years, depending upon which games you're looking at, opportunities. And for so many years, the NMI, we had competitors, but we had very small groups of competitors. And so it really is a proud moment year after year to see delegations of over 100 going to almost every event that we do have now. And I think that is a testament to people believing in what we can accomplish and understanding the importance of sports and recreation in our community and what it does to keep us moving towards the gold, if you will.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Mr. Nick Gross. Thank you. Hope to see you in Palau in the summer.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you, everybody. This is Leigh once again from Marianas Press. Stay tuned for more. Thank you.